Autoline Daily is brought to you by Siemens PLM Software, transforming the process of innovation.
Here are today's top headlines. Toyota gets hit with more recalls and other bad news. Europe treats its auto industry much better than the U.S. does. And Elena Ford gets a big promotion at a certain car company, and I'll bet you can guess which one. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Wednesday, January 28, 2009, and now the news. Earlier today, Toyota reported its sales and production results for last year and for last month, and the numbers are very discouraging. For the record, Toyota built 9.2 million vehicles last year, including production of small cars from Daihatsu and heavy trucks from Hino, which the company owns. That represents a drop of only 3% from the year before, but its results from last month tell the story of what's going on right now. Worldwide sales fell 23%, and exports out of Japan fell 28%. And Toyota is recalling more than 1.3 million vehicles globally to fix a defect in the seatbelt, a component in the exhaust system, or both. Reuters reports the company is recalling more than 500,000 Vitz, Belta, and Ractis cars in Japan that were built from 2005 to 2008. It will also recall another 830,000 Yaris and Belta models exported to Europe, North America, and other markets. Fascinating interview at wardsauto.com with Karl Peter Forster, GM's top executive in Europe. He says Europe values its auto industry much more than the United States does. He points out that European automakers are getting aid from the European Union without all the tongue lashing the big three got from Uncle Sam. The same goes for the arguments over CO2 emissions in Europe. It's a lot less acrimonious than in the U.S. Karl Peter Forster attributes that to government policy on high fuel taxes and tax credits for low-emission vehicles, which puts consumer demand in line with vehicles automakers have to sell. Bentley is going to reveal its fastest and most powerful production car ever at the 2009 International Geneva Motor Show. Not much info yet, except for this crummy photo. Bentley hasn't even released the name of the car, but it does say it runs on biofuel. And you know, that's the latest trick from the exotic car companies. They all base their CO2 claims on using E85 when next to no one who ever buys these cars ever use it. Nissan is shaking things up in the U.S. It's closing 4 of its 11 regional sales offices around the country and shuttering its production design studio in Farmington Hills, Michigan. Nissan says the facility will be used for other purposes, which I guess means it'll just be gathering dust. In total, both these moves result in a loss of 110 jobs, about 10 of those in Farmington. Elena Ford, the great-great-granddaughter of Old Henry, is moving up the ladder. She's been promoted to director of the company's global marketing, sales, and service operations. Recently, she's been vice president of marketing for Ford Motor Credit. She'll report directly to Jim Farley. Coming up next, it's time for You Said It.
Siemens, transforming the process of innovation.
And now it's time for some of your feedback. This is You Said It. You know, every day we get lots of comments and questions from you, our viewers. You Said It gives me a chance to respond or listen. Jerry Flint, one of the best journalists to cover this industry, writes in to say, what does Chrysler get from the Fiat deal? It will take 2 to 3 years to apply Fiat engines and transmissions and platforms to U.S. production. Does Chrysler have the time and money? And Chrysler needs an Accord Camry-sized car. What's Fiat have in this class? It has small cars, the 500 and Punto, not engineered for U.S. standards. Jerry says. Maybe the idea is just to look busy for the auto czar. Pretty good comment. And R. Rufty wrote in with another comment. Chrysler and Fiat, he says. Now that's laughable. What were those two car companies back in the 50s that merged, and the merger was described in the press as two drunks trying to hold each other up? Ouch. That's a biting comment. And along these same lines, Pavilion 1985 left a comment on YouTube for us asking, If the Chrysler-Fiat deal works, how long before we see Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep branded Alphas and Fiats in the U.S.? Will Chrysler build some of those products here, and will Fiat sell Chryslers abroad? Well, Pavilion, like Jerry Flint says, it'll take 2 to 3 years before we see Fiat products in Chrysler's dealerships, but Chrysler products will probably show up in Fiat dealerships a lot faster than that. And that's it for today's top news in the global automotive industry. Don't forget, you can get podcasts, transcripts, and more at our website, AutolineDaily.com. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
Visit our website for even more great content all week long. Autoline Extra, Dawn's Journal, podcasts, and even more. So click over and get the inside view at AutolineDetroit.tv.